Hey guys, good evening. Welcome back to another edition of our Stocks by Request, where we feature, we talk about, we analyze, and we double down on the top stocks that you guys requested via social media. For this particular video, I want to talk about Dito, which you have been requesting over and over, Acen, GTCAP, which we've talked about yesterday as well, but we're going to look at the progression for today. Then we're going to add MBT. Then we're going to look at APL, PHR, then we're gonna add BDO once again, six stocks that we talked about yesterday. But I'm gonna add SM Prime, BPI, and Mart. So 10 stocks for all of you for today. If you guys are ready, you guys are excited. I guess 10 stocks because celebration na rin, 200,000 subscribers. It's just amazing. I never expected that we would see this at such a fast rate, that maturity in Filipinos learning and wanting to invest, it's getting bigger, better, stronger. But before I begin with those individual stocks, I want to show you the PSEI. This is how it looked like from our progression yesterday, which the today's movement putting the PSEI up, no. So please do note that the PSEI closed higher with a volume of 8.43 billion, closed at 7,119.61. It's up 1.02%. But if you'll notice it, it just reconfirmed everything that we've been talking about, that the 7,040 level is a current support level. And that's what we've seen. As of yesterday, you saw this. It dipped below that level, but intraday it started to bounce, and another move again today. We saw it boom above the support level, and then it started to push up. So this current scenario is currently in play. As long as the market stays above the 7,040 level, we may see movement back up to the 7,307 resistance level, but there could be some short-term resistance, or at least some blockage right here as to where the 20-day moving average is. So there might be hesitation, 7,185 resistance level, but the next and main resistance to further confirm the sideways movement of the market is at the 7,307 level. Now let's begin. I want to start this off with Mart. So for Mart, as you can see, ang gulo ng writing ko. I'll zoom in na lang para mas kita nyo. So from yesterday, no, it's still sideways. It's still currently moving in this particular trend. So current range right now for Mart is still here, 6.4 support. Current resistance is the 8 peso level. So that's where patience also will need to come to play. That the only time you make a decision is either when it fails to break out from the resistance, or it bounces off the support, or it breaks down from the support level. So what you're seeing right now is a product of the stock not breaking out of the 8 plus level as confirmed by here, January 4, confirmed by this, January 5, then confirmed by this, January 6, then this one, January 7. That's what we do know right now, that short term, Mart is consolidating, 6.4 support, 8 peso resistance. And what we're seeing right now is currently its move after it failed to break out the 8 peso level. Next, let's look at BPI. So this is our first bank as of the list. No? For BPI naman, it closed at 82.9 pesos per share. It's up 2.35%. Value turnover is 228 million pesos. So anyways, this is how BPI is. As you notice it also, no, BPI is currently consolidating right now. This is its current progression. Resistance is at immediate resistance at least is at 84.12. Immediate support right now is at the 79 point, or at least you can peg it at 79.95 or 80 peso mark. So tinamaan siya yesterday, as you can see here. Then today, after hitting an intraday low at the support yesterday, today opened close to the support, then boom, started to bounce. So we are looking at a very, very thin range, and it's been like that, no, since the start of December. So BPI, since the start of December, has been moving from 79.95 to 84.12 pesos per share. That's its thin range. It's currently consolidating as of this moment. And again, as what I've mentioned, this upward push from October got broken at some point early December, and that resulted into the sideways trend that we are seeing right now. Next is let's look at SM Prime Holdings. So now we're looking into mall and property development. SM Prime also is pretty much at the resistance level. So if you note it here, you will basically see that at 39.5 pesos per share, it's still consolidating also, but it's still trying to push and move within this range. So SM Prime right now, I think, is in a make or break, meaning if it does not break out from the 39.5, then it furthers it will go away already from this upward trending line that we posted, or at least this trend line that started October 16, this upward trending line. If it does not go above 39.5 or does not break out from this level, then it goes here, which is okay naman because matagal na rin naman talaga siya nagsa-sideways. So please do note that SM Prime from a range perspective has been moving for the short term sideways, and it's now nearing its 2 month sideways motion. So failure to break out from this, there will be a chance that it may escape and go lower from this upward push, and then you can further confirm the sideways movement that's happening right here for SM Prime. So please do write this down. SM Prime failure to break out over the next few days from 39.5 may further continue its sideways range with the support at 37.45 and the resistance at 39.5. 37.45 support, 39.5 resistance. Breakout though from 39.5 will push the uptrend further, and it will confirm that this massive trend still intact, and this trend that started in October is still intact, and will bring us to the next resistance at 42.55 pesos per share. Comment below if you're learning. And I'm curious lang, no, since I posted na 200,000 subscribers, some were posting, I was here, 7,000 subscribers pa lang, I was here nung 100,000 subscribers pa lang. If you have been subscribed to the channel, I'm just curious, at what point kayo nag-subscribe? Ilan yung subscriber count nun? I'm just so curious and I just want to know, no? And if you're new, please subscribe and smash the bell so you get updated every time I come up with new content about the market and about investing. Next is we're gonna talk about another SM company, or at least an affiliate or part of the subsidiary of SM Investments. I'm talking about BDO. And what's interesting is uh, I mentioned yesterday that it broke down from the 102 peso support level. But what's interesting also, pagka tama niya doon, it went above the 50-day moving average. And if you recall the video that I mentioned yesterday, I said watch out for the 102 mark because failure to hold, or if it does not really go above that mark, then we could have further downside to the 93.4 level. However, if it goes above that, then it has a shot once again to at least go and move in this fashion. So I'll reiterate this: current support right now is 102. Current resistance right now is at the 109 level. So for SM, the movement today invalidated the breakdown from yesterday. The movement today confirmed further that you have a support at the 102.2 level. So current progression right now for SM Prime, 102.2 support, 109 resistance. Or sorry, BDO, for BDO at the very least. By the way, as I proceed to PHR, no, again, if you're new to this, please do not buy a stock just because I talk about it here, or do not buy, sell, hold, or transact anything. I'll say this over and over: 2020 na, it's time that you learn the rudiments to trade on your own. Just because we talk about it here, it doesn't mean that you should copy what's done here, that you should transact just because it's discussed here. It's your money, it's your responsibility. You have to do your own due diligence, you have to do your own research, because that's what will help you, and that's what will give you conviction in the markets. Because you can watch all of the videos, but you cannot copy my conviction. Conviction comes from you doing it over and over and over and over and over again. But hindi ako magsasawa. I'm just gonna keep on doing this. I'm just gonna show you how I analyze my charts, and with the ultimate goal that you get it, that it makes you better, it makes you bigger, better, stronger, because that's what this channel is all about: to not make you bitter but to make you better. So PHR, second day already of its breakout. We mentioned this yesterday that there is a resistance at the 3.3 level, which sabi ko din yesterday, that sumilip siya, nag-breakout siya, it went above that particular level and it broke past that level already. So PHR, as of today, we are looking at it on the second day of the breakout. So if the 3.3 level will reconfirm itself, or at least will solidify itself as a support level, then your next possible resistance is now at the 4.4 level. So please do write this down. 3.3 solidifies itself as a support. 3.3, you see the stock start to bounce. 3.3, you see it as a solid level na hindi siya nagbe-breakdown na doon, then the possible movement or narrative for PHR will be at the 4.4 level. Comment below if you're learning. Comment if this is something that's helping you. APL, no, for those who are asking, APL, this used to be Yehe, if I remember it properly. It's, as what I've mentioned also yesterday, it's not in the normal set of stocks that I would normally watch, but since it's requested, we are we are featuring it, we're talking about it, and we are discussing it. So I want to show this, and this is what how interesting a bullish stock is and a breakout stock is. So look at this. Green candle right here, January 4, then red candle, which it hit a high of 0.204, then boom, it went down and closed at 0.167, and that could shake people out also. Next is the next day, boom, it opened at 0.18, intraday low of 0.15, but immediately pushed higher to allow it to close at the 0.179 level. But the reason why I'm saying that is this: while all those volatility was happening, large red candle, then volatility, high and low, then the next day another volatility. It was still breaking out. There was no indicator moving average. The next support, it did not show any indication that it broke any of that. And the name of the game, if you've been following the videos properly, is to deploy patience, to deploy discipline, whatever you're using, regardless if it's, for example, Bollinger Bands. The Bollinger Bands is telling you pa nga mas bullish pa yung movement niya ngayon, and then malayo pa yung reversal signal. Even if you're using, say, MACD also, for MACD, it's not even showing us also across. So regardless of what you're using, if your parameters are already telling you to sell, even parabolic stars not showing you yet also a sell signal, if your parameters are not telling you to sell, and especially if you attended our stock smart session, please remember that we've been hammering that deploy patience, that you don't have to transact if you do not need to transact. Anyways, so that's where APL is. APL closed 7.26% up, value turnover 346, closed at 0.1920 pesos per share, and it's furthering its breakout. Next, let's look at Metrobank. Metrobank is this. So Metrobank tried to push up for today. Metrobank, by the way, is up 6.63%. So if you've noticed it, banks that we've been analyzing for today is following suit. BPI is up, BDO is up. Then you have Metrobank up 6.63%, closing at 47.45. So very, very interesting how the movement is. Very, very interesting also how Metrobank also has moved. But the difference, I believe, no, from BDO is this. Metrobank also is consolidating. Main support is 43. Main resistance is 52. But it must break out from this particular trend line. So this is now also like a support which came from this particular push up. If it breaks past that, then it furthers our confirmation that at least it's very, very massively true already that this particular upward push is already over. So again, if it breaks past this line, binura ko, but if it breaks past this line for tomorrow, then there's a narrative that, hey, sideways talaga siya with this particular progression. So what you need to know right now is Metrobank is consolidating 43 peso support level, 51.8 peso resistance level. So that's where we are for Metrobank. Last three stocks. Comment last three stocks. Last three stocks. By the way, while this is going on, there's so much going on in the U.S. Capitol, and I hope everything gets better there. Of course, no one wants violence. We want things to be speedy and resolved. Kahit hindi tayo taga doon, madami din Pilipino nandun. May mga relatives tayo, kaibigan tayo that are based in that particular area. And no one really wants instability. And I hope everything goes well and good there. Anyways, let's continue. Next stock is GT Capital, so heavily connected also to Metrobank. No, GT Capital for the day, green candle, but in terms of its value turnover, 352 million, up 2.66%, close 540 pesos per share. But here's the difference between all of the other stocks that I've analyzed, or at least we talked about today. It's still below the 50-day moving average. It's still below the 20-day moving average. This particular upward trend is still massively intact, and if it does not go above this resistance, then it might show us this as a possible downward push. So, what you need to watch out for if you're looking at GT Capital is pakibantayan 579 level. For it to at least go back to this range, we must see GTCAP go above the 579 level. But for that to happen also, it means that it should break out from the 50-day moving average. So again, two things. GT Capital, break out from 579 resistance. If it breaks out from that, then it opens a new range again, which 579 support, breakout from that, then the next resistance will be the 667 level. And above and beyond that, it pushes above the 50-day moving average, and it protects the market, no, na hindi na prevent to from happening that you may see a downward slope for GT Capital. So for those who are bullish in it, watch out for the 579 level. For those who are still in cash, it would be prudent to see if it breaks out, because kung hindi, this downward trend might push through and baka masalo natin siya, or it might retrace back to the 452 peso mark. So that's where we are today for GTCAP. Last two, Acen and Dito. Before I talk and analyze Acen again from the previous videos, please do note X date is tomorrow. So again, for those that want to avail the SRO, and as if you've been following also how X dates work, there is volatility also during the X date, because uh, it highly impacts the ones, or the it highly impacts the people who can exercise the right to be able to transact, or at least buy ASEN at a lower price. So for today, ASEN closed lower, slightly lower, 0.56%. It closed at 8.95 pesos per share. Value turnover 608 million, which is strong. Now, I want to share this. ASEN is in its uptrend still. Nothing has changed. The uptrend that it had since September is still there. The uptrend that it had from November is still there. MACD, GMMA are all confirming that it's currently bullish as of this point in time, and the trend is pretty much intact. We just have 3 days though of 2 days of red candles and then an indecision candle, but pretty much no, it was relatively down for the day. But this is its main trend line that you need to watch out for. If this gets broken, then a correction to 6.6 will possibly happen. And if you note it also, yung 6.6 na yan, that was the previous resistance, which is now the new support. So that's where we are for ASEN. Lastly, before I go to Dito, for those who are wondering, what is this? What is this technical analysis? How does Marvin do it? For those who want to know more about that, links are in the description below for my technical analysis courses, either live training sessions or online. Or you can learn this via books, or you can learn this via my YouTube playlist. Everything you need to know about me is in the description below. For those who want to trade US markets, we have eToro, $50 US. You get to buy Amazon stock already. You can also buy Bitcoin through that. And Bitcoin insane hit 37,000 US dollars for the day, or at least from the last time I checked it. So you can do that also via eToro. For those who want to message me, or if you have questions, you can send your stocks by request in the comment section down below. You can send me a DM via Instagram, or lastly, send me a DM via our Patreon community. So let's look at and let's finish this with Dito, which has been over the past few months, no, one of the most requested stocks still in the platform. Anyways, Dito is up today as it closed at 12.7 pesos per share. The change though is slightly lower, ready at 3.59%, pero up pa rin siya. Value turnover is slightly lower than what I saw in the previous days, but still massively high at 1.3 billion pesos. Now, support and resistance for Dito. Resistance right now is 13.85. Support right now is at the 8.45 level. So, the way we'd analyze this is currently still dito is at a place where hindi niya na-break yung 13.85 resistance. So either it pushes up, and let's see the action there if it tries to break it, or kung hindi niya talaga ma-break, then the possible narrative is we may see it form, or at least try to build a new support line. So moving averages are still bullish, MACD is still bullish, GMMA is still bullish. The trend line is still showing that the upward trend is intact. But since Dito had a lot of volatility in the start of the year. There could also be a lot of volatility on the downward swing. That's why very, very important your take profit signals. Very, very important what signals also should, for those who bought at a higher price, there must be a signal where you, if things don't go your way, you know how to cut loss. Again, I'll reiterate, current resistance is 13.85. So watch kung nabasag yan or hindi. That will cause you to take action. Then current support is at the 8.45 level. So watch out should there be selling if this support level will hold as well. So there, by the way, I'm changing the time slots, I guess, so that more people can watch videos. I'll see how it goes. No, I posted the last part of our video with Chinkitan, Paulo T. Big, and Shansi. For those who want to start businesses, they gave their predictions on what businesses to start this 2021. It came out 7 p.m. This video is coming out at 9 p.m. And expect tomorrow naman, very, very interesting. We'll have Heloise Grief and Jay Nemesis, the top traders in Europe, in eToro, popular investors, giving their insights, giving their analysis, sharing where the markets will head and their strategy for 2021. So there, I hope you guys got a lot from this. For those who stayed up until the end, comment naman, I stayed up until the end. I just want to know. I'm just so curious. And that's it for now. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. Oh, nakalimutan ko sabihin. We have a subscriber, si Meg Suzuki from Japan. She sent me ramen from Japan. As you all know, I'm a big fan of ramen. And yun, binibili ko rin yun sa mga 7-Eleven doon. She sent a box. So, I'm excited na prolong ulit yung love life ko. Thank you so much sa mga nagpapadala at nagpapabusog sa amin dito. So, that's it for now. Pero nakaka-chubby rin yung ramen kasi. But, yeah, masarap eh. So, I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon and God bless you all.